Once upon a Basingstoke day, a typical Tuesday some might say, whilst playing down in East Rock Park, the clouds caved in and all turned dark. For lurking way up in the sky, there came a giant, mean and sly. The giant really was so foul and looked a bit like Simon Cowell. Bison was the giant's name, and causing havoc was his aim. He terrorised the towns below. The reason why I do not know, but one thing I can tell you folk is he despises Basingstoke. Now, like most giants in these tales, this beast was huge with pointy nails, with which he used to grab his lunch off human flesh to munch and crunch. He'll eat your arms and then your legs, just like a sausage roll from Greg's. As well as eating for his leisure, something else gave Bison pleasure. He would stretch his arm right down from his kingdom to our town, snatching anything he likes, bottles, books, and even bikes. Everyone was petrified. All day long they cried and cried, "My treasures he is going to steal, then eat me as a hearty meal." The town did all they could to hide, but no matter how hard they tried, not everyone could flee and run. They knew that something must be done to stop the giant's wicked ways and go back to their better days. One lad stepped up feeling defiant. "Don't fret, friends, I'll slay the giant." Surprised, a little taken back, his mum said, "Don't be foolish, Jack. That beast will eat you up alive. Get back to your PlayStation 5. But foolish Jack was clearly not. He even studied at Beacott. And what Basingstoke didn't know was Jack would soon be their hero. But the young lad started feeling cautious. The thought of giants made him nauseous. "If this giant I'm to fight, I'll need a meal to build my might. I'll pop to Spoons and have some chips," he uttered as he licked his lips. No sooner had he just sat down to eat his chips all golden brown, a member of the kitchen team appeared amongst the chip fat steam. "Aren't you the lad who bravely said you'll see the giant ends up dead?" "You're right, that's me," was Jack's reply. But then the boy let out a cry. A moment came of realisation, and Jack murmured with hesitation, "The high clouds are the giant's home, too far away for me to roam. I cannot travel all that way, which means I'll never save the day." Then, in a manner smooth and calm, the chef produced atop his palm 5 beans, of which he gave to Jack, but not for eating as a snack. "These will help you journey high and reach the giant in the sky. So don't despair, all is not tragic, for you see, these beans are magic." But Jack thought this seemed rather silly. "They're just from your 5-bean chili. They're not magic like you say." And so Jack threw the beans away. Before our story carries on, I'd best tell you that Jack is wrong. The spoon chef wasn't telling lies, for he was mystical and wise. Then suddenly, there came a shaking. The ground beneath Jack started breaking. He panicked and just kept on shouting, "Bloomin' heck, the beans are sprouting!" And Jack was right. To his surprise, a beanstalk grew up to the skies. He saw the beanstalk as a sign. "The time has come for me to climb." He climbed for several lengthy hours, through the breeze and stormy showers. Halfway he began to slow, so thought he'd take a look below. The view was great, and better still, he could see the sights of Brighton Hill. Then looked behind to take a look, and gave a wave to those in Hook. No sooner had they all waved back, the climb resumed for brave young Jack. Breathless and a little paler, he took a puff from his inhaler, when finally he reached the top. But sadly, there's no time to stop. The hard work's only just begun. Giant slaying is no fun. Basingstoke depends on me. My quest must end in victory. Through the clouds, Jack walked alone. It was like a scene from Game of Thrones. But before he had time to explore, he stumbled to the giant's door. Sneaking through a tiny crack, inside stepped our hero Jack. The giant's lair was dark and cold, with walls covered in moss and mould. The furnishings were such a mess, The giant must have shopped at DFS. Then Jack saw piled in a heap a stash of items 12 feet deep. Possessions that the giant stole, including packs of toilet roll. It's plain to see there's no denying that greedy giant's been stockpiling. Jack trembled as he looked around, then heard a terrifying sound. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Is this some kind of rotten joke? I sense that he's from Basingstoke. The giant stamped his massive feet, which crushed the whole of Churchill Street. For the future of his town's survival, Jack approached his big-boned rival. You horrid giant, large and stout, stop squashing all our roundabouts. Don't mess with me, it won't be pretty. I'm here to save my donut city. But Jack knew violence wasn't wise. Besides, the giant's twice his size. So quickly, Jack thought up a plan. I'll calm the giant if I can. I'll try and make him nice and good, so he'll stop hounding our neighbourhood. Jack gave his coat pocket a brush. Inside was a bath bomb from Lush. Quick as a flash, Jack took it out and held it to the giant's snout. The bath bomb's scent let out a whiff, and the giant took a massive sniff. He gave a smile from ear to ear. His senses suddenly were clear. The fragrance travelled from his nose and warmed him right down to his toes. He'd never felt such utter joy. He turned to Jack and thanked the boy. I can't believe a beast like me can change his ways so suddenly. The fragrance of a summer's day has wiped my evilness away. So with the giant's newfound pleasure, he handed Jack the stolen treasure. The time had come to say goodbye, and Jack began to leave the sky. Sliding down the beanstalk stem, Jack was home by 10:05. Everyone was proud of Jack for bringing their belongings back. They honoured him with chain and cloak. He was crowned the Mayor of Basingstoke. Although that did fill Jack with dread, so he took a job at Gap instead. So that's the ending of the story. Our hero bathing in glory. And the giant's fate was far from bitter, thanks to a bath bomb dipped in glitter.